Hey, you're listening to Speaker Talks podcast for speakers, authors, entrepreneurs, and business people who want to grow their business. Is that you? I hope it is because we got a real treat for you today. And I'm telling you, here's somebody who knows how to run a business. You know how people always say, I know how to run a business, I know how to do this. And, as a speaking coach, business coach, I try and help people improve their systems, improve how they do things. I'm telling you, this next guy is the real deal, and I want to welcome him on. This is Michael DeLon, and he wants to help you write a book. But even more than that, when you get to meet him, you're going to be absolutely blown away. Are you there, Michael?
I'm here, Steve. How are you today, sir?
I'm great. I'm great. Michael and I ran across each other a while back, and boy, connected, and it's been a great connection. And he has so many great tips. I'll let him
Mhm.
share you. Michael, tell us a little bit about you, would you?
Well, sure, Steve. First of all, what everybody has to know, I'm a follower of Christ, been married 31 years since 1990. I've got 4 kids. So I've got a 26-year-old, a 23-year-old, and then 2 adopted daughters who are 13 and 11. And they
Wow.
came to us through 8 years of being foster parents. Okay.
No, cool.
So that's a snapshot of who I am personally. Business wise, I run a company called Paperback Expert where we help you create your book without writing a word. Then we publish you to Amazon, make you an Amazon best-selling author to build credibility. Then we're going to teach you how to market that credibility through our systems so that you'll gain clients, get referrals, and grow your revenue year after year after year. Because a book has shelf life. Once you publish it, it's there, and it will return to you year after year. An investment that is unlike anything else I've ever done in marketing. I've been in marketing a long time. So that's just a real fast snapshot, Steve.
See now, and I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here because 99.9% of the people I know who write a book never make a dime, and they
That's
don't
right.
benefit from it. I mean, they don't get anything. It's like, hey, I wrote a book. Oh, whoopie doopie. Everybody goes, who hasn't written a book these days, right?
That's
So,
right.
what do you mean you teach us how to do all the other stuff? You teach us how to monetize. You teach us how to have credibility. You teach us how to what? All
Yeah.
that stuff.
All that stuff. Because having a book, I mean, I wrote my book back in 2013, Steve. It's called On Marketing, and it changed my life. It changed my business. But I've met a lot of business owners who've written their books. They just don't know what to do with it. And from a business perspective, I tell clients all the time, you're not going to get rich selling your book on Amazon or Kindle. Okay. What you're going to do is have systems in your business to use your book in your marketing to hand your book to somebody, whether it's a lead, a client, or a referral, and give them the opportunity to read about you and your process. And what's going to happen is they're going to be drawn to you and they're going to hire you. That is where you make money with your book.
You know what? I mean, I hear that, and it resounds with me big time, and that's what obviously I help try and teach my speakers is that
Yes.
they need to write a book, and that's one of the reasons Michael and I've connected because I've tried a couple other people who say they help people publish books, and
Yeah.
then when the poo hit the fan, they didn't do anything. They took their money, they helped them, they put a book out, but they didn't do anything with that book. They didn't give them one thing. I mean, there was just nothing else there because I asked my clients, who were long since not clients now because the time had gone by, but I reach out to them because I talk to my clients all the time and try and help them get speaking gigs. But I said, "So what else did they do for you?" They went, "Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing." Wow.
Nothing.
I mean, they spent thousands and thousands of dollars. A couple of them
And
got really bad. I mean, really. Here's another thing I tell, and Michael and I discussed this, but people who self-publish want to put the cover out to their Facebook friends
right.
and say, which one of these four do you like the best? Stop it. Stop it. They aren't
Right.
book marketers. They don't know anything about books. And one of the clients that I have, I wish I had, I mean, I got his copy here somewhere, but I wish I could show you the cover because it's like it has nothing whatsoever. Doesn't say anything about him, doesn't say anything about what he does. I mean, it's a
Mhm.
lady standing against a tree looking down a long winding road. I'm like, what? What?
And
He's an
we wonder why they're
HR
not making
person.
money with it,
That's
right?
that's right. So even the pro that was supposed to help him do that just put it out all wrong, and that's really a shame when somebody spends that kind of money and ends up with Zippo, huh?
Well, it is, and it plays right into one of the biggest myths and lies that's out there, Steve, which is all you have to do is publish a book, and the floodgates open, and the world beats a path to your door.
Ta-da!
It just doesn't work that
I
way.
used to watch cartoons, and that's what happened in the cartoons when I was a kid.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. That's no longer the deal. But what we do, I mean, it's all about credibility and establishing your message into a book. I mean, think about if you're a speaker and you're needing to get on a stage. How much would you pay to have a 2-hour conversation with that person who's going to book you on that stage?
A lot.
That's kind of what you're going to do with your book. You're going to mail a copy of your book to them, and they're going to be able to spend the weekend with you one on one through the pages of your book, right? Now you have a good reason to follow up. I could call you the next week and say, "Hey, Steve, did you have any chance to read my book last weekend?" Because remember, we talked about chapter 3 in my book of how to compel your audience to whatever it is, right? You have a reason to follow up, and it puts you on a different platform.
It
But
absolutely
also
does.
with referrals, how do you get referrals? Well, you could hand 3 or 4 or 5 copies of your book to your best clients and just ask them to hand it out to their friends when they're talking about how you serve them. And it's really cool because then they can say, "Hey, my guy wrote the book on," right?
But
So
isn't the problem, I mean, truthfully, isn't the problem that most people today wanna write a book about themselves?
yeah,
I wanna write the book, and it's a story about me,
yeah, me and my
and
life and my memoirs that nobody cares about.
yeah.
Yeah, and
And
so
that's
it really is true. And so when we work with business owners, we always start with what's the purpose? Who's going to read your book? Why are you even doing a book? It's to grow your business. And the number one question, right, that we have to answer is what's in it for me from the customer's perspective. Now, do they want to know about you and your story and how did you get to be who you are and why do you do? Well, yeah, that's part of it. But they're really interested in how have you helped other people and what can you do for me? And are you trustworthy? Do I have confidence in you? You know, we've heard a long time you've got to know, like, and trust people, right?
yeah, that's right.
And it's been around for so long, I'm tired of it. So, credibility is the word I use. And I think credibility is the level of confidence that your audience has in you. It's deeper than know, like, and trust. And that comes through communication, right? Speaking. It comes through your book and giving your book away. I don't personally like the free plus shipping things that are going on. I like to mail somebody a copy of my book absolutely free, but to do it in a way where it's an experience so that when they get it, it'll be memorable. Because I think in business, Steve, we need to become the first one somebody can think of when they have need for our service and the person that they feel the best about because we make decisions emotionally first. Then we find the logic to back up why I want to do what I want to do. That's why people ride Harleys and drive Teslas because it's an emotional decision that I really need. Electric is much better for the economy. It really is, right? You're justifying what your heart wants to do. Same thing in business. That's why I hire a certain speaker because I like them better. Now I just got to find the logic to. So there's a lot of psychology that goes into all of this, but it's really being a real person.
You know, that's, and I'm gonna back up because a couple things in this, uh, I was on Michael's podcast,
Mhm.
okay? And I want you guys to understand that, matter of fact, I'm gonna stop right here. Michael, how do they get in touch with you?
Paperbackexpert.com is the easiest way. It's our website. You can get anything
Real
you need from
simple.
me. Real simple.
Paperbackexpert.com. Reach out to him. I'm telling you, you need probably a couple people are already trying to reach out right now because you started off so well. But when Michael and I had the podcast on his show, right? He says, "Hey, by the way, what's your address? I want to send you, a little piece of mail." I went, "Okay, great." And then a week later, and I'm telling you, it wasn't like a month and a half later, like I tend to do. You put things off, you set them aside, and a month and a half later, it's like, oh yeah, I said I was going to do this. And some people even write me back and go, "Steve, didn't you say you were going to do this?" And I'm like, "What did I say?"
That's
Right.
right.
So,
That's right.
so this was really cool because he lives what he's teaching, right? And it happens right now. And I'll tell you honestly what I got. I got a nice box. It came as a surprise. It was a nice box. Everything was wrapped up. A big thank you note that said, "Thanks for being on my podcast," and a little thing of Jelly Bellies. Oh, cool. Who else has ever sent me stuff?
Right.
Nobody. No, and even
Right.
people who say, "Steve, can I send you a book?" I go, "Sure." They go, "Would you pay the shipping?" No.
Oh,
No, I won't.
no.
That's not a free book, as Michael just said. But the cool thing is that he lives what he teaches. And that's what you folks really need to do, is finding somebody who will live what they teach. And that's credibility. We've talked about, he and I have talked about uh, engaging the solopreneur, engaging the entrepreneur, who it's people like you and me who are making up these businesses. Don't buy from the big wigs. Don't buy from the people who have franchises if you can help it. But always stick with the person who runs and owns their own business. And that's what Michael, when he was talking about who he uses for his services, talks about all the time.
Yeah.
So it's really important that we understand that how many people out there have a message that they would like to share. And I mean a true message, not this is my life story, but you do something. Matter of fact, I just put it out on LinkedIn. What are you an expert in? Isn't that a
Good
good
question.
question?
It is.
Now,
Yeah.
and some people say nothing. Some people say nothing, right, Michael?
Well, they do, and there's a fallacy there because every business owner we believe is an expert at what you do. Okay, so the formula, if there is one for our company, it's expertise plus credibility equals profitability.
That's
You bring the expertise. You're the expert. We will add the credibility through your Amazon best-selling book. And when you follow the marketing systems that we give you, then you will get the profitability year after year after year because our systems that we teach our clients, we give them the system. It's not a software or anything. It's a system you put in place in your business and it works. It's an evergreen marketing system because I find small business owners struggle with marketing. They
really
don't have systems that are in place. What you receive from me, Steve, is a system. Okay. I send that to every podcast guest that I have. I send you a Loom video. You got a Loom video,
Yep.
a
Oh yeah, that
video
was
Loom.
cool too. You
Thank you.
guys, if you guys haven't done
Okay?
Loom, you got to find Loom and then reach out to Michael, and he'll
I,
tell you how to make it work. Because
I'll
that's what
teach you how to make
I
it work.
went. I went. I got it. I'm looking at it. I don't know. I don't know. So I reached out to him, and he went, "You just got to do this." I went, "Duh."
Yep. So you got a Loom thank you. You got a physical thank you in the mail. And then a few days later, you got a gift hopper in the mail. You got a food item. Okay. You're telling all kinds of people about me now. That is good marketing. That's what we teach. That's one system that we teach our business owners.
Wait, was that a trick to get me to refer you?
Not at all. It's not a trick at all because I want to build value into your life so that you remember me and you like me. So you'll tell everybody about me because then I will help them do exactly the same thing. Because you're right, Stephen. Nobody markets this way. I use a lot of what I call old school marketing strategies that work like gangbusters because everybody's all over TikTok and TikTok and Wick Whack and anything else that's coming along
Weed
that
whack. Yeah.
it's like, okay, fine, those are all good channels, they all work, but you're forgetting the old relationship. If you sell a high trust service like a speaker, okay, I've got to trust that you're going to deliver, right? That's a high trust service. Then you need high trust marketing and relationships. That's really my ideal client is somebody who's selling trust at a high level. You're not going to get those sales through the tactics that most people use. You're going to get it through relationship building, having conversations, and being real. That's what we teach our clients. And we start with their message and then we put it into a book because you have a lot to say. Just you don't know what to say. That's why our writers come to and Steve, what you haven't told them yet is you don't have to write a book. I tell my prospects never write a book. You should always speak to write your book. Our whole process is about interviewing you because, Steve, you have everything in your head and in your heart to create your book, but you're not sure how to get it done. You don't have the time to get it. We got you. We take you from where you are today to published Amazon bestselling author in about 7 months. And then we'll teach you how to use that to grow your business.
That's about how long I've been saying I'm going to finish up my book.
I
And
hear that all
I'm
the
still
time.
not even close. Are you saying I might want to start using your services?
And you might want to consider. We should have a conversation. Yes. Because
We should, because I told Michael last time. I said my book coming out that I really plan on finishing. It's called "Shut Up and Succeed,"
yeah,
and you write a sentence here and a paragraph there, and pretty soon I'm this far, and it's like, okay, set it over there, and then you get busy doing something else, and a month later you come
right.
back to it and go, oh man, I got to do this. You write another paragraph.
And as good as you are at speaking, what if we just kind of teed you up, Steve, and said, okay, tell us about this, Steve. And we shut up and you talk and we just record it. And then our writers craft your words into your manuscript. How about
I
that?
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
How
So
many how many other speakers would love to have and here's what we're pushing out here, and I say speakers. You don't have to be a speaker. You have to have a motivation to really help other people,
Mhm.
get your message out, and be successful enough so that you can touch enough lives to help other people. That's the whole secret. It's great to be an author. Hey, I'm a published author. Great. How many books did you sell? 67. Right? How
Yeah.
many? I mean, I'm asking people. You say, how
Yeah.
many books did you sell last year? And they're like, well, I sold quite a few. And you go, no, you didn't. You and I know you didn't, unless you're out at the bookstore sitting up your table. And even then,
Who cares?
10, 12, right, at a
So you make a
bookstore.
few dollars. Who
Yeah,
cares? How
that's
many
right.
clients did you get from it? That's what I care about. You know, here's the analogy I'm using, Steve. Do you remember when we were back in grade school? Okay,
I
years
can't
ago,
remember that far,
a couple of years ago, we were back to remember the lunch line that you had to wait in to get your tray, right?
Yeah,
If we
trays.
if we cut in line, Steve, and went from the back to the front, we got sent to the principal's office
Yep,
because that was not allowed, right?
that's right.
An ethical way for somebody to cut in line and get to the front of the prospect line is to mail a copy of your book to your prospect because it
Mhm.
clears the clutter and it says, I want to talk with you because you're obviously an expert because you wrote a book. It allows you to cut to the front of the line ethically and legally and get rid of all that competition because now
That's right.
you're in a category of one because your competitors aren't doing it. They're doing all the other things.
That's
So
right.
it's a great ethical way to cut in line.
And we talk about that all the time. Again, I teach all of my speakers that they have to have. I teach all of my clients that they should have a book, and of course, 90% of them don't put out a book
Right.
or are still working on their own self-publish. But here's what's important on that is if you're thinking about it, like I love realtors because right now they're experiencing the best 2 years of their life down here in Florida. I'm sure nationwide
Yeah.
with
Very much.
everybody clamoring to buy houses and the prices going right through the roof. But this is what I tell people. What about next year or the year after when we go back into that slump time? How are you going to get clients? And if you give out those books this year, they will remember you next year. And then
Right.
again, Michael and I have ways that you need to stay in touch. I just put out a thing again on LinkedIn this morning that said, here's one little idea of how you can stay as a realtor. And I said realtor, but anybody who does a service-based business, here's how you can stay in touch with your clients and always have them reach back out to you and do business with you. And if you go to LinkedIn, you'll find my stuff out there. But it's all about connection, isn't it,
Yes.
Michael?
It really is. It's that connection at the heart level, right? And we always start with somebody, Steve, with making sure their message is crystal clear and that it will connect with their ideal audience. Because that's step one. Then that message needs to compel that audience to take a step in your direction. And then it should convert them to be a prospect and then a client and then a referral source. That's all because of your message is really crystal clear. And that message is not about you, it's about them.
Well, I thought the book was supposed to be about me.
No, not really.
Really? You mean my speaking isn't supposed to be about me either?
It's not. It should be about your audience.
That's
Mm.
one of the giant challenges when he says somebody will help you write that book. And if you've read anybody else's book, I got 12 or 14 sitting in a stack here next to me that people said, "Hey, I want you to read my book." And you get about one chapter in and it's boring.
Yeah.
It's just boring as heck. And it's like, I mean, I wrote a boring book. Sorry. I did. And when you write your own, you just get into a habit. This is what, you tell them, this is how to run a business, this is how to do this. And you forget that it has to entertain for
Yeah.
them to finish it. I'm reading one called, I don't know, something secrets, right? Marketing secrets or something by somebody that I should know. But
Right.
I ended up, it's a good book.
Yeah.
I bought it on audio book. So
Yeah.
now I'm listening to it. When I go for my walk every day, I listen to 15, 20 minutes worth of the audiobook. And then I come back and look up that part in the actual book because to read the book is pretty boring. To hear somebody talk it's better for me. But
That's right.
that's what's important is Michael and his team will help you write a non-boring, functioning book that people will want to hire you from.
Yeah, that's right.
Look
That's
out.
what it's all about. At the end of the day, proliferating your message to get somebody to hire you and refer you to others, and not just clients, but think about centers of influence in your community. If you're a realtor, you should have your book in every mortgage lender's, office in the city,
Now
because
there's
they
an
should be
idea.
referring to you. There's an idea, right? And then they say, you know what? We've got you approved for a loan. Let me refer you to Steve. He wrote the book on how to buy a house in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of hassles, right? For the best price possible. He's a great guy. I recommend him highly. Here's his book. Let me make a call and set up a time for you to meet with him.
And let's change that up. How about if you're a mortgage lender and you put your book in the realtor's office? Because
Absolutely.
we go in there and sit down, wait for that realtor to open the door and invite us in. Well, there sets the book. Hey, it's a free copy. Take it with you.
Absolutely.
So,
And
you mean it
what
works for everybody?
not everybody. I mean, dude, we've done it everywhere from dog trainers to attorneys and financial advisors to car repair shops to a roofer. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're an expert at what you do, you have what it takes to create your book.
I'm going to expert. A lot of people back up. They go, "Well, I'm not an expert."
Sure.
And I'm going to ask you the simple question. You know what? I've had 36 different full-time jobs in my life. That means I worked them 40 hours a week for at least 6 months. Okay. I love changing. I love learning. I love growing. Here's what I'll tell you. When I went to cook in a kitchen, like I think I'll start with the Village Inn, was one of my first experiences. I went into the kitchen and you know what? The cooks were experts on how to crack an egg, how to make an egg, how to
Oh,
do this, how to do
yeah,
that, right? Then you had to go wipe the tables down. There were other people, there were bus people who said, "Let me show you how to do that, Steve, because
right.
there's a way that you do it, and then there's a way that really works." You
Yeah,
know, some people who are professionals at it don't get paid a lot necessarily. They're
right.
the experts in what they do, whether it's learning how to wipe the table, learning how to clean the floor, learning how to do the dishes, learning how to load a dishwasher.
The right
I
way.
think I need lessons on that.
There is a right way to load a dishwasher, Steve. It's my wife's way. So I'm sorry. No.
That's right. That's
Um,
exactly right.
but you think about realtors, we've done a number of books for realtors, right? There's a lot to real estate.
Oh, yeah.
And the buyer and or seller are pretty clueless, right? So you can easily just convey your knowledge. To be an expert, really, you just need to be about 5 or 10% smarter than the next guy. That's it. But too many
Well,
times we're so busy, we need somebody to guide us down the pathway.
and this is to show you, I was a real estate appraiser for 21 years, owned my own company, did all that stuff. And, I know certain things. Long story short, we just sold our house and somebody else, the realtor came in and then they had another realtor who was in there. When they bought the house, then they said, we want to get $10,000 back out of this deal. Right. And so they said, well, so we're gonna up our offer by $10,000 and will you accept that? And I went, absolutely. Right. And you think that's a good deal. They get 10,000 out of the deal, right? I get my regular listing price. It doesn't hurt anybody. We're off and running. Except if you don't know, when he says people don't know what they don't know, I guess is a way. If I wasn't paying attention, that $10,000 becomes part of the purchase price, right? You say,
Mhm.
yeah, sure.
Right.
Well, then it also becomes part of the
Appraisal.
commission. So if I wasn't
Mm.
paying attention, I personally would have had to pay 6% on the $10,000, $600 for him to have an extra $10,000. And I went, hey, wait a minute. This isn't going to cost me anything, is it? And they went, no. I want that in writing. And when the contract came through, it wasn't in writing. I sent it back to them and I said, hey, I want this in writing. And they went, oh, sorry, we forgot that.
Sure you did.
I would have paid the extra $600 because it was in the contract.
Right.
What we don't know. And that's important. You don't know about publishing a book. You don't know about advertising your business. I mean, that's why people with lots and lots of money hire people who have advertising agencies and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. You need to learn from a pro, and that's Michael. And
Thank
he
you.
will help you market your book, write your book, publish your book, do all the other stuff that he just talked about. What all? Again, go ahead, Michael. I'll let you.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. It's having a crystal clear message. That's where we always start. Creating your own book, making you an Amazon best-selling author, creating a podcast for you if you don't have one like this, where we interview you on every chapter of your book. So then you can syndicate it out. We teach you how to have guests and build relationships with your podcast. Then we give you our marketing systems that you put in place in your business, and these will work. They will get you more. They'll convert more leads into prospects, so you get more appointments on your calendar, right? More opportunities for you to talk with people who are interested. We like old school, right? Everybody says, "Well, I've got an ebook." Do you know how many ebooks I have on my computer, Steve? Yeah, and we
4 or
do
5.
ebooks, we do Kindles, but the
Yeah,
purpose of getting somebody to get your Kindle is to get them on your list so you can
that's right.
email them, make them an offer to mail a free copy of your book to them. Now you get their mailing address. We find about 45% of the people who opt in for the ebook will request a free copy of that book. Now I've got
Yeah.
your mailing address, so I can send you a thank you. I can send you a gift in the mail. I can do marketing in a way online and offline. So it's not just, I'm not hiding behind email. No, I want a relationship. I could send you anniversary postcards. I could send you invitations to an event. I can mail things to you and email and social media. It just helps. It builds a relationship. And I assure you, nobody's marketing this way. None of your competitors are marketing the way I'm going to teach you. And these systems I give you, I don't lease them to you. It's not software. They are given to you, and we'll teach you how to run them in your business.
And that right there is a huge step. So I'm sure there's all kinds of people out there who will help you publish your book. I bet you there's nobody else who offers you all the rest of this assistance as a package. I've been told lots of times, by other authors that, hey, I'm just a great best-selling author. And you wonder, okay, what else? And the answer is nothing else. When you think about what you know about marketing your own business, we think we know, and we really don't know. How many people here would like to have more business? Right.
Yeah.
One of the things I just put out, I just finished up my offer, which is 8 questions, which is 8 questions on how to get more appointments. Matter of fact, I'm putting together a webinar right now. It's called "Book Yourself Silly,"
I
and it's
love that.
all about, and it's a free webinar because it's all about what Michael just said. How do you book yourself? The networking that we've always done isn't working. Everybody I talk to says my networking sucks. I must not be good at it. No, it's the model. The model is old, outdated, and doesn't work in today's society. Michael's telling you that if we take what's old, apply it with what's new, he's got a whole new system that will help you grow your business. How much do you need that? Michael, we got
Right.
about 3 more minutes, my friend. What else can you share with us?
Probably the biggest thing is as we think about parting comments, Steve, is be yourself. I've seen too many business owners try to be somebody else because you think if you're an attorney or you're a speaker, you've got to look a certain way. And it's like, no, I want to know who you are because I want a relationship with you. And at the end of the day, whether you're a speaker, a realtor, doesn't matter. I am buying my confidence in you to deliver the service that you've said, right? I want to know who you are. That's why when you asked me at the very beginning, who am I? I'm going to tell you who I am. And that could attract you to me or it might repel you. I'm okay with either of those, right? Because if you don't like me, let's not do business together.
Yeah, that's
So, but be yourself and tell your story because it's pretty fascinating when you tell your story the right way.
That's it. And telling your story the right way. I've got a website out there called stopboringspeakers.com. And it's all about not being boring,
Yeah.
telling
Yeah.
your story the right way. And people say, well, I took a course on storytelling. And I'm going to ask you one question. Isn't storytelling the thing that you did to your kids when you want them to go to bed and go to
Mhm.
sleep at night?
Puts
Don't
them to sleep.
storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell them, don't story tell people in your speech. You want to engage, excite, and energize your audience, and those are the important things that you need to learn how to do. And so we will team up. Michael and I'd be glad to team up and help you with your entire business and help you grow that business. And that's what it's all about. Michael, again, how do they reach you?
Just go to our website, paperbackexpert.com, and you can find everything you need about us and book a call with me. And let's talk and see how we can help you create your book without writing a word.
Ooh. And that's a free call. Look at that, free call. You talk to Michael for 5 minutes, and you know what? You're probably gonna hire him. I know people go, I can't afford to hire him. You don't even know how much he costs yet. So
Right.
let's talk to him first. Let's find out what it's all about, right?
See if it's
And
right.
let's put it together for you because that's what it's all about. I'm Steve Sapato. You've been listening to Speaker Talks podcast for authors, experts, entrepreneurs, and people who want to grow their business. And you can reach me at steve@stevesapato.com. God bless.
Yeah.
How did you do that?